Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Ned over at My Philippine Dreams and to the E to the D over at MPD, coming at you from Dumaguete City, and we got some rather bad information that we have to convey. I don't know how YouTube's going to take this, but again, this is intended for educational and informative purposes. I received a rather disturbing email this morning, and it's something that I've discussed in previous videos, I know, but I went back and checked my book on it. And I actually didn't talk about it in the book because when I first received this, I was like, oh, this guy should have bought my book because it's in there. That wasn't the case, though. It's not in the book. So let's get right down to this because I'm trying not to make too much of your time. All right. The sender comes from basically an anonymous email, and it doesn't even have a salutation in it. It says, basically, it starts, I am sending this email out to a number of people in order to spread the word on a very dangerous scam that is being perpetrated in the Philippines. Okay, so he says Philippines specifically, but I know for a fact that this isn't just a Philippines thing. These scams happen all over the place, including first world countries. Basically, it has to do with a Filipina taking undetected video, basically screencasting, of you during an intimate video chat and blackmailing you with it. I would assume that you all would understand what I mean by intimate and that I don't have to get into details. If you are mystified, just give some thought to as what intimate incidents may occur during a video call with an attractive Filipino. He's got a little sense of humor there, which is pretty good. Gotta have that. He maintained a sense of humor, that's important. The individual who was involved in shaking me down spent a good deal of time building up to the actual act of recording the video call. Prior to that, we had spent almost 2 months messaging back and forth, so they had known each other for a little while, online, not actually meeting. As part of the eventual investigation, I actually counted up 421 Facebook Messenger messages and about 30 previous messages that were exchanged on the dating site that we met on, which is Pina Love, he notes. On top of that was 18 prior video calls, a few of which went on for nearly an hour. So basically, this person, spent a good deal of time building up the trust. That's a lot of messages, that's a lot of exchanges. The final video was conducted on Skype. She was alone at a boarding house and I was home by myself. Over the course of the conversation, she encouraged me to get intimate with her. Not even thinking, I acquiesced. That's a big word. Not realizing that she was recording the entire thing. We eventually wrapped things up and promised a video chat again the next day. The next day arrived, and needless to say, we didn't have a video chat. Instead, I received an email from an unknown sender. Attached to the email were a number of stills, photos, he says, pulled from the video that she had taken of me at my most vulnerable moment. The sender stated that unless I paid over $3,000 US dollars, the video of the intimate encounter would be sent to my employer and family. I panicked. An appropriate response, I guess. After thinking about it that day and receiving assurances from the sender that this would be a one-time thing, I sent the money off via Western Union. My Filipina girlfriend made no attempt to contact me and I was too afraid to contact her. And although I was told that this would be a one-time payment, I received another demand for money about 3 weeks later. At this point I realized that this wasn't going to end. I told the mysterious sender that I wasn't going to give them any more money. The worst part was that they knew where I worked and the Facebook names of my sisters and brothers. Thankfully, which I never thought I'd be saying, my parents are deceased. So knowing that these people would probably retaliate against me, I had to notify my work and family. 5 more threatening emails arrived that week, and eventually they made good on their threat, sending out the same still photos from the video that they had sent me. Thankfully, my siblings and my work were understanding. That's a horrible situation to be in. The moral of the story, if there is one, is do not give out any personal or identifying information to anyone that you are dating online. Use anonymous emails. Don't tell them your full real name, or he said make one up. Use anonymous Skype accounts. All these people knew about me was my full name and the city that I lived in. From that, they were able to determine where I worked. As for my family, I was stupid enough not to hide that information on my Facebook page, or he used his real Facebook page. My friends list was not hidden. I am now working with the U.S. agency that liaisons with Philippines law enforcement. I have given over all the message and call history that I have, as well as the name, air quotes, of the person the money was sent to. I am not expecting them ever to be caught. So that's basically it. Be wary and spread the word. This has been an absolutely miserable experience. So I replied to him that, I thanked him for letting me know about that I had heard about that happening before, and I sent him a free copy of my ebook, even though that situation wasn't specifically described. And that's something that I do have to update the book with. I know I have it written down somewhere to do. So that's a horrible situation. Again, like this guy said, and I have no reason to doubt his claim. I'm sure it happened. Otherwise, why would he have taken the time to write such a lengthy email? And so you have to basically protect yourself at all times. I mean, we're in the digital age. Everything's online. People are doxing each other all the time. All kinds of new scams and hustles are coming up, provided vis-a-vis technology. And that's definitely one of the ones you have to be careful with. So actually, in this case, a lot of times people get scammed or hustled when they come here. But in this case, you don't even have to leave your home. You don't even have to leave the seat in front of your computer to get scammed in this case. So again, this is for educational and informative purposes. Be safe out there. Be well. And until next time, this is Ned over My Philippine Dreams, and I'll see you on the flip side. Hey, if you consider our work to be of any value, consider supporting us on Patreon. If you're a Patreon, you get a free copy of my ebook, and we do monthly Google Hangouts. So consider doing that, if you would please.